right, thanks, Steve. That is a great intro to this next story. It has been a staple of an Ohio school for decades. This picture of Jesus hanging in the hallway since 1947. But this year, everything changed when a group of atheists claimed that that picture, that portrait, violates their First Amendment rights. Christian students tried to save it by moving it to a different school in the district. They claimed that the Jesus picture is protected by free speech. So who is right in this debate? Joining me now for a fair and balanced debate, Tamara Holder, a Fox News contributor, and David Schwartz, a defense attorney and former prosecutor. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Tamara, we'll start with you because studying for this last night, I was reading that you say legally that portrait needs to be taken off the wall. Why do you think that?
Well, right, and just for all purposes of full disclosure here, I think that I believe in religion and I'm not an atheist by any means, but this has been very clear and determined by the courts that this is a violation of the Establishment Clause of the Constitution or the First Amendment. And why that is because you cannot have an entanglement of public and religion here, and that's what's going on. This is a public school, and this is the school putting a seal of approval on a religious piece of art.
Okay, David, we want to hear the other side of this because anytime we see a nativity scene, we see a portrait of Jesus, you know, the Ten Commandments, we know it's just a matter of time before the ACLU is going to get involved. Does the ACLU have a case here, David?
Yeah, I mean, certainly they may have a case, but I don't think they're going to be victorious. It's not as easy as it was just explained. This is a very convoluted type of situation. When you see the Christmas tree, it's usually sponsored by the government. This particular situation is sponsored by a private club within a public school. And the Supreme Court has been very clear in case after case that the private clubs...
You're absolutely wrong. There's been no case that has said this.
Many cases...
There was an actual case that said...
I'm in the middle of talking. Many cases have decided that private clubs within a public school have the right to practice religion. Plenty of cases where they're allowed
David,
to pray.
if you're going to make, you're an attorney. If you're going to make a legal argument and say that there are plenty of cases, then I would suggest that you say a case, because there was a case in Bloomington Public School District that was exactly the same. A picture was placed in a public school, and the court ruled that you have to take it down.
Let me give the folks at home a little bit of background on this, David, before you start, before you argue against that. It was a gift from an organization, a private club, a Christian organization, almost 70 years ago, and the school is saying this is student speech. We have a quote from the superintendent who says the portrait can hang in the school if it is student speech. He's saying, yes, this is a public school. We've moved it to the public high school from the middle school walls, but saying that this is, because it is a public it's a public school, but a private club, as David was saying. So, David, the argument I think Tamara's trying to say here, if it is a private organization, can you put anything on public property as long as the private club is putting it on there?
No, you can't put, you don't have indiscretion to put anything up anywhere. But within reason, the school cannot show hostility towards religion. The school has to show neutrality towards the religion. And by the way, that was Justice and I'll quote Justice O'Connor, if you want a Supreme Court quote, that you must show neutrality. So within reason, within the school, the picture can be posted. There is a fair ground here where that picture can be posted.
Tamara, I'll give you the last word. This picture's been up for almost 70 years. Is it really harming anyone?
Well, no, like I said, Ainsley, I do not think it's harming anybody, but at the end of the day, whether you want to quote the Supreme Court or not, there is an entanglement here where the school is basically putting a seal of approval on a piece of art, and that is a violation of the establishment.
I think everyone needs to lighten up a little bit.
We will leave it there. We all have opinions on this.
Just to lighten up.
Thanks so much. I appreciate both of you coming in this morning.